What's up, my wonderful people? It's Benny Popria here, and I'm here with a wonderful story for you today. But before we proceed, don't forget to follow, like, and share this video. Also, feel free to drop your comments on the comment section. Thank you.
Once upon a time, in a small village where ancient kingdoms thrived and wisdom passed through generations, the elders told a chilling tale, a warning against greed. This is the story of Bakari, a poor but honest man, and the cursed-talking skull that sealed his fate. Bakari lived in a humble village near the banks of the Niger River. Though kind and hardworking, fortune had never favored him. He toiled in the fields from dawn till dusk, yet his harvest remained meager. His neighbors pitied him, but some mocked his poverty. Bakari's life in the village was tough. Due to his misfortune, all the women in the village refused to marry him. He tried to marry the young women in the village, but they refused him. He married the older women, but they still refused him, saying the same thing the other women used to say. "Bakari, you are too poor. How will you feed me when you marry me?" This makes Bakari disassociate himself from the villages the more. Until one day, a woman finally agreed to marry him. Bakari was so happy that he finally got a wife for himself, but his happiness did not last long. His newly wedded wife could not endure the suffering any longer, and she packed her bags and left. Bakari was heartbroken. He cried and thought to himself, "Is it a crime to be poor? I was kind and nice to her, so why did she leave?" But all those tears did not bring his wife back. Bakari continued with his farm work and hoped for a better harvest. One evening, a young man in the village sneered at him. "Bakari, why do you work so hard when others grow rich with little effort?" "Because wealth without honor is a curse," Bakari replied. He believed that one day, his honesty and hard work would reward him, but deep inside, he longed for a sign that his struggles were not in vain. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Bakari ventured into the forest to gather firewood. The air was still, and the trees whispered secrets only the wind could hear. Then, he saw it. A human skull, bleached white by time, lay in the path's dust. As Bakari bent down to examine it, a raspy voice shattered the silence. "Greed killed me, and it will kill you too." Bakari stumbled backwards, his heart pounding. Who said that?" he gasped, scanning the empty forest. "I did." His blood ran cold. The voice had come from the skull itself. It stared at him, its lifeless jaw moving once more. "Greed killed me, and it will kill you too." Bakari turned and ran, stumbling over roots and stones in his desperate escape. Bakari burst into the village square, panting. "I have seen a talking skull," he cried, gathering a small crowd. Some villagers laughed. "Bakari, have you been drinking palm wine?" one man chuckled. "Or you are running mad because your wife left you," another man said. But Bakari insisted, and soon the village chief grew curious. "If this is true," the chief said, "we must tell the king." The king of the land was a man of wealth and power, ruling with an iron fist. He rewarded loyalty but had no patience for liars and fools. When Bakari stood before him, the royal court fell silent. "A talking skull," the king said, raising an eyebrow. "Yes, my king. It spoke to me in the wilderness," Bakari said breathlessly. The king laughed. "If what you say is true, then take us there. But if you have lied, Bakari, you will pay with your life." The guards gripped their weapons. Bakari swallowed hard. "I swear on my ancestors, my king. I speak the truth." Bakari led the king and his guards deep into the forest, where Bakari pointed, his hands trembling. "It spoke to me here." The king stepped forward, staring at the skull. The air was tense, the guards gripping their spears. "Speak," Bakari commanded the skull. "Silence." The king frowned. "I said, speak." Bakari cried again, desperation in his voice. But the skull lay motionless, as silent as death. The king's amusement turned to anger. "So you have made a fool of me," he roared. Bakari fell to his knees. "No, my king. I swear it spoke." The king turned to his guards. "Kill him." "No. Please. Give me another chance. I am not a liar." But the king had spoken. As the executioner raised his blade, a whisper filled the air. "I warned you." The king stumbles backwards, his golden robe fluttering, guards exchanging fearful glances. The skull's voice echoed, "Greed killed me, and it almost killed him. Beware, your majesty." The king, trembling, turned to Bakari. "You have spoken the truth. You are free to go." Bakari walked back home, wondering to himself what would have happened to him if the skull had not spoken. He reminded himself that greed and rash decisions can lead to downfall, while patience, honesty, and wisdom lead to survival.